Spoiler warning. The following discussion will contain spoilers. We recommend checking out the movie first, then coming back to hang with us. But if you don't care about that, glad to have you here.
What do you need us for?
Because some damn fool accused you of being the best.
You son of a bitch.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of The Real Review. My name's Kevin.
And I'm John.
And we are The Real Movie Guys. On today's episode, we'll be reviewing The Disaster Artist. When Greg Sestero, an aspiring film actor, meets the weird and mysterious Tommy Wiseau.
What do you have for us today, Thomas?
You're Tommy. Always Tommy.
In acting class, they form a unique friendship and travel to Hollywood to make their dreams come true. When that doesn't pan out, they decide to make a movie, and that movie is one of the most infamous, worst movies ever made.
Greg, how long is movie script?
So, John, do you know anything about, before we even get into this movie, what is your familiarity with The Room? Did you ever see The Room?
No, I have no clue what The Room even was or is.
Well, I know I've showed you clips in the past of The Room. I've actually watched The Room. It's true. Everything they say about this movie is true. It's the worst, best movie I've ever seen in my entire life. From the terrible acting to the plot that makes bewildering sense at times. That's just half the battle. This movie, The Disaster Artist, attempts to take that story. It's actually based on the book called The Disaster Artist. It takes the story of The Room and tells you the even, I would argue, crazier story of how that movie was made. Famously, I remember when the teaser trailer dropped for this movie. It's the famous
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
The filming of that scene, which took, I forget how many takes it was. It's a lot.
Take 13, mark it, action.
I did not hit her. Okay, line.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
This movie is great. I really enjoy this movie. I think, you know, if you don't know The Room, I think maybe there is something to be said about your enjoyment. But overall, I think this is a really fantastic comedy. John, what were some of your early thoughts of this movie? Again, from your perspective of not seeing The Room, what was your impression?
I don't like going in, just like the first, like even 10 minutes, I was already confused. And like when they first start, like they're at that place and they're at like an acting class.
Mm-hmm.
And the one kid goes up there and then the teacher tells him like what he did wrong.
Right.
I was like, that guy is really, really a terrible actor. Like, like I don't know why he was there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And when the teacher was talking to him,
Mm-hmm.
like about like, oh, you what have you gained from this? I was thinking to myself like, yeah, how are you an actual actor? Like, you're terrible. Like, I don't understand this. But as the movie went on, I had different opinions.
Right. So let's talk about some of the acting. We'll start with that. So, James Franco plays the incredibly insane Tommy Wiseau.
Just mean it's expensive. It's nice. That's all.
Don't talk about me.
The what?
What I draw, what I say, what I do. Don't tell anybody. You understand, yeah?
Yeah. No, I won't.
Okay.
Tommy Wiseau is crazy in real life.
And don't look at Robot Crab. He's shy.
James Franco actually hung out with Tommy Wiseau, and I don't know if they briefly lived together just for a short time, just so he could get into character. He would actually answer Tommy Wiseau's phone as him to try and get into character to play this crazy, insane person. I think James Franco gets lost in this role. I forget it's James Franco at times. He just plays it. Unless you know who Tommy Wiseau is, it's even hard to gauge his acting. Like, you're like, come on, this guy's being ridiculous. From his humping of the dress scene.
I wanted to keep that dress.
You can never wear that dress.
And, you know, just yelling in random places and thinking everyone's spying on him and portraying him. it's great. I think, he plays him truthfully, which is hard to do. He plays Tommy sympathetically, because you do sympathize with him at times when you feel like, Tommy's whole character, his whole psyche and mindset, which is one of the best things about this movie, they capture him in a way where you feel bad for him and you kind of understand what's wrong with him. He wants everyone to love him. His whole movie, when he makes The Room, is essentially about a love fest towards him. He wants everyone to love him, everyone to not treat him as the villain. And there's actually a really good scene where Bob Odenkirk's in the movie, who's from Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad. He pretty much tells him, like, what are you doing? You're a terrible actor. You're Frankenstein. Why don't you go be a monster?
Presence. You are a perfect villain.
I'm not a scary guy.
I could see you as Dracula, Frankenstein.
I'm not Frankenstein.
And Tommy just freaks out on him, saying, I'm not the monster. You're all the monsters. I'm the hero.
I'm hero. And you all are villain. Yeah, you'll laugh. Ha ha ha. You know what? That's what villain do. Okay. Ha 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 ha.
And not even to that, he plays him Tommy's confusing. He's all these emotions in one bundle, and I think James Franco just captures everything perfectly with this character. Now again, John, you're not too familiar with Tommy Wiseau. What did you think of James Franco's performance, though?
Well, see, honestly, going into, I didn't know that James Franco was even playing him.
That's
so,
even better, right?
So while watching the character, on screen and stuff,
right?
I mean, I could understand, like, a character could be like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I could understand, like, everything. But I was just thinking in my head, like, why is this guy so weird?
Yeah.
Like, why is everything about this guy so strange and different?
How old are you?
Wow,
That's personal. You can't ask people that question.
Don't want on Greg age.
You're 19? Yeah. I just turned 14.
Wow, happy birthday.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it made me think, like, okay, they can't be just getting the, like, nobody could have made this character. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody could have went in their basement and created a character.
So you're saying it was so unbelievable that it was believable?
Yes, like, he was so out there, so in a different dimension that I was
his own
like,
planet. He says it a couple
like,
times. It's his own planet. Planet
I'm
Tommy.
like,
I'm on my own planet.
Your own planet?
Yeah, it's cool. Everybody love each other. That's why it's the best planet.
Sounds great. Sounds ideal, really.
I have a present for you. Welcome to my planet, Greg.
I'm like, listen, nobody could have made this. Like, this guy is legit.
No, and you know what I think the best part about that is the movie doesn't make fun of him, which is weird. You would expect them to be making fun of him, like, oh, look at this loser and what he does, but it's never poking fun at him. It's just portraying who he is, who Tommy Wiseau is. That's who he is. It's not like the audience were sitting there just cracking up at, he's an idiot and, oh, this guy's stupid. What's wrong? Again, I never felt like it's mean spirited towards him. I feel like it's just his life.
This is my movie, and this is my life. Okay, be cool.
I also think it's funny too when when Tommy Wiseau hands the guy his script, and they're at, like, that diner,
right?
And the guy's, like, reading it for, like, what seems like an eternity,
Mm-hmm.
and then he goes, "So, what do you think?" And you could see the guy was like, "What the heck did you write here? Like, this is absolutely terrible." But he, like, doesn't want to tell him either.
Well, that's what's interesting too. So you have James Franco playing Tommy, and then it's actually his brother, Dave Franco, playing Greg, his best friend, which is very strange when you think about casting wise. Usually you don't have two brothers playing non-siblings in a movie. That's kind of strange to begin with. But I think Dave plays Greg very honestly and truthfully as well. I wouldn't say his performance was anything spectacular, but I think the best part was the chemistry between the two.
Right here, right now, we make pact that we always push each other, that we always believe in each other, and that we will never forget dream.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
Woo!
You can see, like, Dave played Greg very accepting of Tommy and his craziness. He's just like, he admires him for his insanity, but he also cringes at it at the same time, but in a way he understands the way Tommy is. There's a lot of scenes where he's like, even when they're filming The Room, he goes and he's like, oh, that's just the way he is. Oh, I'm sorry, that's just the way he is. But again, he's never like hate until the end of the movie when they have their big fight. There's never really a discourse between the two characters. You really sense that like very odd, almost uncomfortable camaraderie between the two.
Also, like when Tommy brings them to his house, and then he's like, "Okay, we have one bedroom," and then the guy's like, James Franco's brother's like, well, where am I gonna sleep?" And he's like, "Oh, you don't want to sleep in my bed? What's wrong? You don't want to sleep in my bed?" And he starts getting like all confused. And he's like,
I'm just joking. Oh my God, you should have seen your face.
Yeah, you got me.
No, it's okay. I'll just sleep on the couch.
Well, no,
it kind of makes you.
Well,
it's kind of like throws into like a little curveball to be like.
But it's not
like,
even that. He
what
like,
do you?
Gives. I mean, Tommy gives Greg his bed, and Tommy's like, I'll just sleep in the corner. I'll just make I'll put a sheet and I'll sleep in the corner. No, you're my guest. You have the bed.
Maybe put up some curtain and make a little room in corner or something.
No, Tommy, no way. I'll take the couch. This is great. I swear.
I insist. I want you to be my guest.
It's like he wants to be so loved by these characters. Like he'll give them anything he can to get that love back. And
he's so hospitable.
Yeah, hospitable, right? Yeah, that's like
totally
strange. But I think what they're trying to get across is Tommy found someone that sees him for who he is, and someone he really he finds a odd connection with, that maybe understands him and puts up with him. Because I can't imagine many people liking him or putting up with him in general, just by the way he's portrayed in this movie. And even that, you see the jealousy, which I thought was really interesting too. James Franco portrayed that it was very unsettling at times, jealousy he would have when someone would talk to Greg. Like in the bar, for example, when they're at the bar and Greg's talking to a girl and Tommy's just jealous. His attention's away from him. And he's just like, oh, well, I'm the most important thing. Why aren't you looking at me? Or another good scene of that even is the crew, right? They're all making fun of him the whole time. They're calling him weird. You call me weird Frankenstein vampire monster man.
They are not grateful. Nobody respect my vision. I know what they say, Greg. I hear them. Nobody trusts me. Not even you, Greg. What do you? Oh, see, you don't even trust me.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, and they're all making fun, and he's recording everybody.
Don't you know I'm recording all of you?
How
so
crazy,
if you do that again,
crazy.
I get you.
But again, it captures that aspect of the character where I think he's just very odd man with a lot of confusing and complicated emotions here. But I think it all again, the main point they just want to drive home is he just wants to be loved. He wants to be loved, admired, and remembered. That's what Tommy Wiseau is. And ironically, by making The Room, this terrible, godforsaken movie, he's known now as making one of the worst movies ever made. Worst movies. He's known for it now.
Take a terrible quote from The Wedding Singer. Yeah. I think he just needs a good hug and someone to tell him that he loves him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true.
It's just like
he just wants to be loved. That's all Tommy wants. And
it's almost like
a great job,
a whole movie trying to call out to people to just be like, "Hey, I just need someone to love me." Like almost like in like a suicide note, like in a way, but to try to tell people like, "Hey, this is how I'm feeling. I just want to be loved by someone."
Yeah, we can even compound on that a little bit. The scene when they're on the roof, which if you even watch the movie even closer, you see like he took personal experience and made it into The Room, which is very like the rooftop scenes. Like a lot of the scenes in The Room are actually all these personal, big world-breaking events. And when he's talking with Greg, they have like this big epiphany on the roof that he needs to make a movie. But you see like the sadness in Tommy when he's like, I should just give up. Like, what's the point? I'm never going to be anything. And then, Greg's there for him. And then he has, again, the epiphany to make The Room.
Wish we could just make our own movie.
A great idea.
But you see such a change in that character. You see him like awaken to become this crazy man he's supposed to be, which I think is just fantastic. If nothing else, this movie's just enjoyable for that performance.
Well, even when Greg's needs like the day off to go to like act at another place, like he got another acting gig or whatever.
Right.
Tommy's kind of like put off, like, but Greg, I'm making this for you. Like, in a way, like, to be like, hey, you're the whole reason I'm making this.
Well, yeah, it's part of his
like,
whole.
Why are you leaving me?
Well, yeah, it's part of his complicated, relationship here, where he wants the attention, and now suddenly, Greg's not into this, this project anymore. He doesn't see the, the merit in this project anymore. He wants to move on, and Tommy can't take it. He can't handle it.
Or when Greg wants to move out with his girlfriend,
that was Tommy's
like,
too.
Tommy's like, I only have one bed though.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, there's not enough room in here. There's not enough room.
Like, what's gonna happen? He's really concerned. Like,
no, and he's so.
Wait, this doesn't make any sense.
He's so absorbed in his world, he can't see anything outside of his world, which is great. I think, like I said, the portrayal is excellent. Moving on, though, like I said, we've talked so much about Tommy. There is other stuff in this movie to talk about. I think the overall casting is great. I think the choices they made were decent, for everybody else throughout the movie. No one else really matters as much. I think the actors they got to portray the people who were in the Room movie look pretty close to the real people, which I can appreciate that. Another fun casting I thought was Zac Efron was a funny casting. I thought that was random. He plays Chris R.
And sorry, can I call him Chris instead of Chris R? It's just I don't know why.
No, he's named Chris R. You call him Chris R.
Fucking motherfucker!
My God, this guy monster.
The drug dealer who tries to beat up Denny for all the money. And you just see the scene where he just freaks out on him and everyone's like really uncomfortable on the set.
You want 5 fucking minutes, Denny? Let him have 5 fucking minutes! Where's my fucking money, Denny? Tell me where my fucking money is, Denny. Where's my fucking money, Denny? God damn it!
And then you see he's actually a really nice guy. He just like bugs out and goes crazy. Or the woman who plays Lisa's mom is like an aging actor. And I think she had a cool scene where she talks about, like, why are you doing this movie? Like, you get up at like 5 a.m. and it takes you like a couple hours to get here. And then she just says the line,
we're actors, Greg. You and me, people like us, even the worst day on a movie set is better than the best day anywhere else.
Was it Seth Rogen is in this movie? It's a James Franco movie,
my
so
God.
Shouldn't be surprised Seth Rogen's in the movie.
As a script supervisor, it'd be really helpful if I could look at the script for the movie first.
Everybody wants script. Don't be greedy, okay?
Everyone kind of, even like the famous people that they use in those roles, kind of look like the real people. Again, I think those casting choices were good. We'll get more into casting later. I have some other comments, but overall, very good. Besides the 2 mains, of course, everybody else was, did their part.
Yeah.
Other thing I would say, also, I really think it's the best thing about this movie, and it's hard because, again, John, you didn't see The Room, but I think it's recreation of The Room. It recreates the movie itself, essentially. Almost at the end of the movie, there's actually a fun scene where they do comparison clips of the actual movie versus what they filmed.
Hi. Can I help you?
Yeah, can I have a dozen red roses, please?
Oh, hi, Johnny. I didn't know it was you.
That's fantastic. That's a fantastic recreation. It's almost spot on at times.
You're scary.
You are lying. I never hit you. You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
Why are you so hysterical?
I thought it was like the same movie. Not even that, though. They use a lot of in-jokes about this movie. Again, I said earlier it's based on the book. The book talks a lot about the mysteries behind The Room. There's a lot of mysteries, all right? One mystery is, where does Tommy get his money? It's just never answered. Like, how does he have... They mentioned, I think, when Seth Rogen goes to the bank to cash a check, he tells the guy, like, oh, I hope this check clears. And the guy's like...
Okay. Is 20s okay?
Went through?
Yeah.
That is shocking. There's actually money in there?
This account? It's like a bottomless pit.
Where did it come from? No one knows. There's a rumor that he sold, like, illegal coats in another country. And somehow, like, had all this money coming. I don't know. Again, no one really knows. It's only speculated. Where, again, at the end of the movie, they have a scene when Greg and Tommy start fighting, and Greg just lets out all these insults at Tommy, which are all the things that the fans don't know. Like, where does your money come from?
Where does the money come from, huh?
Greg, stop. This is on camera.
You're not from New Orleans. He says he's from New Orleans.
Where are you from? It's a simple question.
I'm from New Orleans.
New Orleans.
From the bayou.
You guys hear that? This guy with this fucking accent is from the Bayou.
You're telling me this weird, unspecified accent of a man is from New Orleans? There's no way. He asks him, what was he? How old are you?
This one thing. How old are you?
I'm your age, Greg.
You're my age. You're my age.
I'm just your friend.
When were you born? What year,
Same
Tommy?
year as you.
Same year as me. There's no fucking way you're in your 20s, all right?
He says he's like 20, what is he, 21 or whatever? It's like, no, you're like 30-something into your 40s. He never answers any of the questions. And I don't know, I remember reading something about James Franco when he was hanging out with Tommy. Like, even he didn't get the answers. And he spent all this time with him, and he never actually found out any of these weird answers. There's other things in the room. There's a lot of spoons in the room for some reason. There's pictures of spoons everywhere. Never answered. Like, it's like addressed like, why is there spoons? They kind of talk about it a little bit. There's just so many, like his obsession with American. He keeps saying, "Oh, American football. Gotta toss the American football." Like, why does he have this? Like, because he wants to fit in. Is that what his obsession is with football? He can't even throw the football. It's just so many questions and just joke or what the room's actually about. They even talk about that when they go into behind the scenes. They're talking about, well, what is the? Well, I think it's about a spurned lover, and all this happened to him, and he's writing this story. It's just beyond me. I think even a funnier one is when he's writing the script. Tommy's writing the script. He talks about when he's writing, he's talking about the character of Tommy. He's like, he might be a vampire. I don't know. That actually was in the original script, apparently. Apparently, he wrote Tommy to be a vampire. He kills himself, and then he comes back to life and has a flying car and drives off into the sunset as a vampire.
Oh, very nice.
What is that? Like, again, there's all these crazy mysteries and fan theories, and the movie just has a good time with it. And I really, again, if you see The Room, I think you have more appreciation for it. But at the same time, it's just all these crazy questions. There's just so much with this movie, and I think, and again, we've said before, sometimes you shouldn't have to invest in outside sources to appreciate a movie. But I think this is one of those movies where you have to. And if you do, I think you'll find immense enjoyment out of it just for that soul experience. So I want to get into some negatives about the movie. There are a couple things that I didn't like. I think there's too many guest stars in this movie. I hate to say, it almost felt like James Franco opened up his Rolodex and said, all right, what famous people do I know and how can I get them in this movie in bit roles? Almost every scene, there's even a scene with Judd Apatow's in it. He's at a restaurant eating dinner and Tommy's trying to, sell him on his acting. And
to go.
Well, maybe.
I'm not saying maybe, I'm saying not in a million years.
But after that?
And not after.
I'm like, that's freaking Judd Apatow. Like, why is he in this movie? I know him and James Franco were good friends, but again, I just did it have to be Judd Apatow? It's just, I don't know if maybe they're trying to add a bit of realism to it, but it was a little much for me. I just felt like, especially the opening, I felt was very forced. At the beginning of the movie, there's a montage of actors saying how great The Room is and how funny it is. It's the best, worst movie. It goes on for a little bit, and I just felt like it was forced. Like, maybe they do like The Room, but why do I have to be told that? It just felt kind of odd to me.
Yeah, I agree.
And even the end movie, there's an end montage in the movie where they sing the praises of how popular The Room became. And again, there was just these montages of information that I felt like it's just praising. It felt like bookends, It was like we had a bunch of celebrities in the beginning, then we had a bunch at the end. It's just like, do I care what they think? Not really,
Yeah.
It's just again, I just too many famous. I hate to say it, too many famous people. It takes me a little bit out of it, but not enough to where it impacts the movie. But it's noticeable, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
Another negative. I do think it's a tad slow at times. When Tommy's not in a scene, the movie does drag a bit. Some of the Greg scenes, I think, drag a little. They're not as interesting. Like when Greg is trying to make it in Hollywood and he's unable to do it. I think sometimes the movie just drags. It's just not as interesting. Because, again, Tommy is so interesting that anything with him not in it makes me feel like the movie loses my attention a little bit at times.
Yeah. Well, also, the thing with Greg, too, it's not like Greg ever became a better actor.
Oh, no, he's terrible,
like,
too.
Like, Greg was terrible acting, and then all of a sudden he met Tommy, and he's all of a sudden like, oh, now I'm gonna go to head gigs and get good acting money. It's like you still can't act.
No,
Like,
you're still a terrible actor.
Like you've never done anything to make yourself a better actor. Like it didn't make sense.
No, you're right. It's very yeah. He doesn't do anything of prowess either, so that adds to everything. My last negative I would give this movie is the end is very rushed. There's just Greg and Tommy have a fight after they finish filming The Room, and there's a significant time jump of like 3 to 5 months, something like that.
Babyface.
You stalking me now?
You're not that hard to find.
And then I feel like we just rush to the premiere of The Room and the movie's over.
I'd never be able to make this movie without my best friend. We do it together. Hey, The Room!
I don't know. I just felt like they almost, I want to argue, I feel like they just ran out of material to talk about. There's like, all right, we don't know what else to talk about, so we're just going to skip to the end. It's kind of like, it's like you're reading a book. You got to like the climax, and then you forgot the falling action. It just jumps right to it. And I thought that was very rushed at the end for me. The time jump was a little much. That's all. Again, not overall terrible, but noticeable. Again, the movie's long. I feel like it's a bit long, but there's so much in it as far as enjoyment that you can ignore maybe the length. But the movie is a little bit long in the tooth at times.
Yeah.
But how about you, John? You have anything else you want to add? Any other comments, concerns? Do you want to watch The Room now? How do you feel now?
Like I honestly want to watch The Room now, just to get like another take and then rewatch this movie again.
You guys should let us know if you're interested in. If you want us to review The Room, I'm more than happy to abide by it. We could do that. It could be a fun time. Maybe we could do a commentary track. Let us know down below in the comments what you want us to do. You know, any way you want us to cover it. I think it could be a good time for everybody. We're at that point of the review where we give our final scores. I'm gonna give The Disaster Artist a B+.
You don't want to be good. You want to be great.
This movie's great, fantastic. I think you'll have a good time. The biggest negative I would say with this movie is you have to know The Room. If you go into it not knowing anything about The Room, I think it will hamper your enjoyment to an extent. That's really the biggest drawback of this movie. Otherwise, I think it's a fantastic movie, but it's hard to recommend. Like, even when John watched it, John didn't see The Room, but even he said, like, you know, afterwards we talked about it, and I said, here, there's some stuff I want you to watch, and we went over it. But I think it just hampers if you don't know The Room, it's harder to, it's not that it's impossible to enjoy this movie, but you're going to have a harder time. So my score I'm going to stick with that B+. John, what do you give The Disaster Artist?
I give The Disaster Artist a B.
Okay, I have one announcement. This is bathroom. I spend many dollars on this. It's for me only, director only, okay?
You know, there's like a real bathroom with like doors and everything right there.
This real movie set here. Real movie set, you know? No Mickey Mouse stuff.
Copy that.
Okay.
Because it was so dumb, but so many good, funny parts to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, like, the story altogether was, like, just decently done. Like, it makes me want to go see The Room. And then, like I said, watch this again. Like, Tommy Wiseau, like, just amazing character right there. Like,
he's a legendary character right
like
there.
One of those people that you like, when you think about it, you're like, oh, this guy, he literally just wants love, right? And you go, how can you not like this guy? Like, he's just funny and stuff.
No, it's great. And like I said,
And
I think
he
James
loves
Franco's,
American football.
Yeah, he loves American football. I think James Franco gave an amazing performance. And like I said, that, let alone just that, is the price of admission to this movie. Go watch this. Do yourself a favor. Go watch this. You'll have a good time. And then, like I said, afterwards, watch The Room. I mean, even before, I even recommend, honestly, watching The Room, then going to watch this movie, because it gives you so much context to everything that's going on. But anyway, John, where can the guys find us at home?
You can find us at YouTube at TheReelMovieGuys. Like our channel, subscribe to our channel. Tell us your opinion. Did you watch The Room? Did you watch this? Tell us your opinion on this. You can also find us on Twitter at TheReelMovieGuy. You can tweet at us. You can follow what we're doing there. And also, we are located on many platforms of podcasting locations such as...
Indeed, for your listening pleasure, we are available in podcast form at iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcast, Overcast, Breaker, Radio Public, and Pocket Casts. Be sure to give us a listen at any of those fine places. If you already are, hey, we greatly appreciate it. Just search The Real Movie Guys, we'll pop right up. I'd like to thank you all for joining us for this episode of The Real Review. My name's Kevin. That guy over there, his name's John. We are The Real Movie Guys. Real guys, real movies, real thoughts. See you next time.
See ya!